I went down this first chute and suddenly I'm like leaning way back and thinking, okay, there's a rock cliff over there. Got to get myself together.
Oh my goodness.
And it was okay. I'm not going to go off a rock cliff. Well, I've done that by mistake skiing once.
What? Hi, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Teachers. I'm here today with Dr. Dourmashkin, Senior Lecturer in Physics. So you said when you were in high school, you didn't really do anything else than like science and math?
Oh no, I did other things.
Okay, like what?
I ski raced. I was a ski racer for American Youth Hostels.
Do you still do those kind of outdoor activities now?
Yeah, every year I try to do something. I tried something recently, which was a little scary. It was a great powder day, and he's standing up on a spot, and I yelled down to him, "Is there a jump there?" And then I thought he said yes. So I'm skiing for like a rock jump, and it turned out to be a 30-foot cliff. Unfortunately, there was like 2 feet of powder, so it was okay.
Wow.
But that was a little shocking.
I know you went to MIT, so what extracurriculars did you do when you were here?
I played a lot of sports. I was on dorm sport teams. My dorm was Bexley, which is gone. And then I was involved in film groups, and I did a lot of stuff in the Center for Advanced Visual Studies. So I had this friend, Luke Ehrlich, who was a reggae musician, and he had this song called Walk On By. So we decided we'd film it in Paris, and we got a bunch of friends together. We finished the film, and it showed on MTV, and it was one of like the first videos on MTV. This was 1984.
Oh my goodness!
I don't know, Luke's got a copy. I don't know anybody else who has a copy of it, probably.
You said you went to Paris. And I heard that you had a little bit of an embarrassing story of a time when you were in Paris.
Well, yeah, slightly. My thesis advisor, Michel Van, worked with another Michel, Michel Duflo. And Michel Duflo invited me over for dinner one night. Now, what was interesting at the dinner was that there was this little girl who was sitting at the table the whole time listening to everything. And that was Michel's daughter, Esther Duflo, who is now a famous professor here in the economics department. And we had a great dinner, and he was serving wine. I lost track of time, and suddenly they were looking at me really strangely. And eventually it dawned on me that I'd missed the last metro. So I had to sleep on their couch, which, you know, in France is not really the way you act as a first guest.
You said you lived in Bexley.
Uh-huh.
Now Bexley has quite a reputation. Do you have any interesting stories about maybe hacking things that you did when you were in Bexley?
I had a conceptual hack that I wanted to do, but I never did it, which was, there's the head of the Charles race. And I thought it'd be pretty cool to have a track on the bottom of the Charles and have a boat that will inflate up to the surface. And there would be 8 skeletons rowing across the finish line before the 2 8s got to the finish line, and then they go back down underwater.
If you could pass on any one piece of wisdom to your students, what would it be?
I'll pass on something that I heard once. I was running a seminar called The Frontier of Science, and we invited all these interesting people to come and talk about their work. And Marvin Minsky came, and he said something that I never forgot. What he did was he tried to find the smartest person he could and figure out how they thought. He would go from one person to another and just try to figure out how do they think about the world. And how do they process the world? It's abstract advice, but it paid off for me in a lot of ways.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Tea with Teachers. If you like what you saw, subscribe and watch more videos here. Follow us on social media here. If you have suggestions for questions or professors, let us know down in the comments below. Have a great week.